The World Poker Tour is brought to you by ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker. Guaranteed.
Los Angeles, California is the poker capital of the world, and if you don't believe me, I've got 1.3 million ways to convince you. The world's largest poker casino plays host to one of the greatest tournaments of the year, and it's only on the WPT.
Well, the crowd all standing.
He is circling the drain.
They are going bare knuckles in the center of the ring.
He needs the extreme miracle.
Over the past 9 seasons, the LA Poker Classic has offered a 7-figure prize, achieving a level of sustained excellence that can only be rivaled by the main event of the World Series and the WPT World Championship. Suffice to say that if you win the LAPC, you've made it big. I'm Marianella Pereira, sitting in for Kimberly Lansing, and in 10 seasons on the WPT, we have seen a parade of greats become millionaires by taking down the LA Poker Classic and etching their names on the WPT Champions Cup. So it came as no surprise that 5 days ago, the game's best and brightest came to Southern California, looking to book a 7-figure win and their own piece of poker immortality.
Best of luck to all of you in your quest to make it to the final table.
With play underway, it was easy to see this field was packed with poker greats, including WPT champs, WPT World Champs, WPT Players of the Year, a host of other WPT finalists including Justin Smith, Jen Harmon, and a well-dressed Shannon Shore, plus world-class player Jason Mercier, alongside talented young guns David Doc Sands, Dylan Horton, and Matt Marifiotti, all of whom were looking to etch their name on the WPT Champions Cup.
This is an important event in poker because it's been around for so long. And so I just really love to win this one.
I'll tell you, it's a tough field. I'm not kidding you. This is a good field. Players come out of the woodwork.
Early in the day, we saw our own Tony Dunst taking the lead. With so much star power, even top-ranked pro Vanessa Selps felt the pressure.
Oh, and the cameras are here. See? Yeah, you guys should have been here the last time. There was some jibber-jabber. There's a jibber-jabber.
WSOP main event champ Jonathan Duhamel admitted to me there was more than one reason to play the LAPC.
Lots of nice ladies stuff, so why not come have a nice trip?
There's some pretty nice ladies over there, some Royal Flush girls too. We'll bring them over there, over here, yeah. Meanwhile, Phil Hellmuth was greeted by Royal Flush girls Ivy Tevez and Danielle Ruiz.
Yeah, lead away. Great.
Where's your table?
19.
But it was the appearance of the other Phil Ivey, who was making news by playing in his first U.S. poker tournament in nearly a year.
Phil Ivey's here, if you haven't gotten that memo. I think far and away the biggest story of the first day of the LA Poker Classic was...
And an unexpected story.
...that Phil Ivey came in about a level into play with Eric Lindgren, Carlos Mortensen, and the three of them registered, took their seat, and everybody kind of just watched Phil for a while.
And quickly, Phil Ivey applied pressure with a board showing ace, 7-5 jack with 2 clubs. He shoved all in, forcing his young opponent to fold. But not everyone would fold to the former LAPC champ. Pitted against Season 6 Player of the Year Jonathan Little, with a board showing both flush and boat possibilities, Jonathan bets the river and Phil is forced to fold. That hand would prove to be only a minor setback as Phil Ivey would end the day 5th in chips. Day 1 was not good for pros Vanessa Selps and Daniel Negreanu, who busted. But it was great for young pro Michael Rocco, who ended the day with the chip lead. Tony Dunst would find himself in the 21st spot, while ones to watch David Doc Sands in 25th position.
Good morning.
Day 2 of the 10th annual WPT LAPC began with close to 75% of the star-studded field still in the hunt for a title.
Large field, tough field, great to be playing it, and to be able to beat all these schmucks out of their 10K, I'd love it.
There were WPT title holders playing at almost every table, and of the whopping 38 WPT champions still in the field, 3 were former LAPC champs: Eric Hirschler, Gregory Brooks, and Mr. Phil Ivey. When registration officially closed, the Commerce Casino announced a prize pool of over $5.2 million, with first place winning a seven-figure payday of $1.3 million, a number that kept the pros in a good mood.
It's tough, but it's a lot of fun, and I gotta go play.
Dan O'Brien. Are you kidding me?
But the mood would quickly turn serious for WPT champ Eric Lindgren and once to watch Dan O'Brien, as both headed to Table 17, the unofficial LAPC Table of Doom, which included WPT champ Will the Thrill Fiella, online phenom young Dan DJ K. Kelly, pro Matt Berkey, poker legend Men the Master, Alan Chainsaw Kessler, and top-ranked pro Jason Mercier. Will the Thrill, holding a 9-deuce, had no luck trying to bluff Dan O'Brien, who had made 3 of a kind on the river. But of all the pros at Table 17, it was young Dan DJ K. Kelly that impressed the most.
DJ K is actually playing the best, I think, of anyone.
Yeah, DJ K is playing real good. Dan's playing well.
Jason's playing okay. DJ K's having his way with him.
Yeah.
As if to prove the point, on the last hand of the day, Dan Kelly would bust Jason Mercier.
Yeah, I'm going to head down and get a seat in the cash games.
Once again, the young superstar came up short at a WPT. 182 players would survive the day, with the chip lead going to pro Gordon Vaio. Dan Kelly would land in 12th chip position. Joe Hashem, Phil Ivey, and Phil Hellmuth would all be within striking distance of each other, and Will the Thrill Fiella would barely survive the Table of Doom, landing close to the bottom of the chip count.
Never surrender. Never.
What's up, World Poker Tour? Day 3. Got some work to do.
As the remaining 182 players filed in for Day 3, the average stack stood over 90,000, which meant things were not looking good for a couple of WPT's Season 10 ones to watch.
Oh man, that's it. I thought the day was getting a little light, but that's just reality. Look at all these chips I gotta stack up.
A short stack wasn't David Doc Sand's only problem, as he found himself sitting at a strong table that included WPT World Champ Yevgeny Timoshenko, as well as WPT Champion Club members Nick Schulman, John Hennigan, and Joe Tehan.
I never checked my table draw.
Welcome to Day 3. Shuffle the deal.
With play underway, tournament director Matt Savage's goal was to hit the money, meaning the day would end when the field hit 54 players. In such a talented field, it was still a shock to see big names exit early, like Season 8 WPT Player of the Year, Faraz Jaka, as well as Season 7 WPT World Champion Yevgeny Timoshenko, who busted shortly after Doc Sands doubled through him. Nick Schulman would exit at the hands of Season 8 WPT final tableist Jason Burt.
That's a bust out.
And William Reynolds just plain lost.
Gotta win those flips. Hard to win a flip when they flop quads. I'm out.
Across the room, young pro Jason Somerville was adding to a huge chip stack, while Will the Thrill Fiella gained a little momentum.
Miracle.
Only to peter out and bust. But it would be the high-profile fills, both Hellmuth and Ivy, that would provide the big stories of the day. At Table 33, Phil Hellmuth, holding Ace-10, caught 2-pair on the turn against California pros Danny Illingworth's gut shot. Phil bets 8,000, and Danny calls. River comes the miracle card for Danny, 3 of clubs. Phil bets 17,000. Danny, making his gut shot straight, shoves all in. Phil calls and is stunned that he has just been eliminated.
Is this a joke? I mean, is this for real? I knew he was going to give me all his chips, but he hit a 4. It's so sick. Maniac sucks out. It's just so brutal.
First, like, he is so Irish, right?
2-pair and the nut flush draw. Pretty sick.
Is that for real? Do you see that man?
After Phil Hellmuth's elimination, the tournament quickly found itself on the money bubble with 55 players left. While other players tightened up, Phil Ivey boldly called amateur AJ Gigello's all-in with Ace-10 offsuit for over $111,000. Phil had 2 overcards, but AJ's pocket 6s held up, leaving Ivey only 14 big blinds. Soon after, it was Ivey who would shove with pocket 6s, only to get called by David Baker's kings. No help from the board, and the room would fall silent as the money bubble burst and the great Phil Ivey quickly exited the tournament floor. As players began to bag and tag their chips for the night, it became obvious David Doc Sands had a good day as he was congratulated by amateur Sean Jazzieri. WPT champ Joe Tehan would find himself in third chip position right behind pro Jason Somerville and a surprised but confident amateur chip leader Tuan Phan.
There's more to come as the first 3 hours of extended coverage of the LAPC continues. Tony Dunst is on deck, ready to break down the play in the Raw Deal. And we'll catch up with the latest standings in the Player of the Year race and check out all the fun the Royal Flush Girls have been having behind the scenes. But when we come back, we'll continue our look at the road to this final table and our final 6 players. Brought to you by ClubWPT.com. So stick around.
Hi, my name's Andy Whetstone, and I got to live the World Poker Tour. As a Club WPT VIP member, I won a WPT main event seat to the Hollywood Poker Open. I also made the final televised table and took home more than $62,000. Join me on ClubWPT.com. For just $19.95 per month, you too can live the World Poker Tour. I am all in.
Good bet, Andy.
ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed.
Welcome back to Season 10 of the World Poker Tour's coverage of the LA Poker Classic. For 10 seasons, the LAPC has reigned as one of the richest and most prestigious tournaments on tour. And with money and prestige comes a fierce competition to be the best.
Day 4 began with the 54 remaining players in a good mood as all were now guaranteed a minimum $21,000 payout, but only one of them would win the over $1.3 million first place prize and have his name added to the WPT Champions Cup. 3 of those players still in the hunt were looking for their second WPT win. And a handful of others have made past WPT final tables but have yet to win a title, including 2-time final tableist Noah Schwartz and David the Dragon Pham, who has made 7 WPT final tables and placed in every spot from 6th to 2nd. The 54 would see their number reduced as the bust-outs came quickly, including Day 2 chip leader Gordon Vaio, Legends of Poker runner-up Amit Makisha, and Season 10 ones to watch Matt Marafiati. Meanwhile, the pain and joy of poker was in full swing at Table 33, where chip leader Tuan Phan seemed to be giving his chips away, which prompted David Doc Sands to start tweeting.
I am here with a WPT ones to watch, David Sands, who has coined possibly my favorite phrase of 2012 poker-wise so far, equity fire sale?
Yeah, that's what Tuan Phan seems to be having. He's definitely giving up equity at a cheap price, and seems like he's looking to get rid of it as quickly as possible.
And it wasn't long before Tuan lost it all, running his ace-king suited into the pocket aces of businessman Sean Jazzieri. Tuan Phan out in 43rd place.
No, I make a lot of creative plays. I'm still happy with the result anyway.
The bad beat of the day would go to WPT champ Joe Tehan, who began Day 4 in 3rd chip position. But in a hand against Jason DeWitt, the Season 6 champ's ace-king was no match for Jason's ace-10 with a board that would pair the 10, and there would be no second title for Joe as he soon exited in 23rd place.
Cashing out. They got me. What can I say? Yeah, I've given my fair share of bad beats, so...
Surprisingly, only one of the top 5 spots from the start of the day would survive to the end. Young pro Jason Somerville. David the Dragon Pham, David Doc Sands, and WPT and WSOP champ Joe Hashem would round out the top 10. Day 5 was looking to be an epic battle. The action on Day 5 would determine our final 6 players. And with 18 players left, the field was still impressive and included WPT champions, players with multiple WPT final tables, strong young pros looking to make their first WPT final table, and a few talented amateurs hanging tough with the pros. For everyone, the goal was to make it to the final 6, and early on it was the amateurs who were taking the hits, as Dan Kelly and Doc Sands eliminated 2 non-pros. And WSOP main event winner Joe Hashem would take advantage of the ultimate cooler when his aces doubled through amateur Sean Jazzieri's king. Down but not out, Sean Jezzieri's tournament changed in a big way when he beat the odds and doubled through British pro Stephen Chidwich, holding ace-6 against ace-jack and pairing his 6 on the river. A little later, it was payback time as Joe Hashem shoved, holding pocket 8s. Sean called holding 9s, and the board brings no help for Hashem, knocking him out in 12th place.
Good game, guys. Good luck. Nice players.
Very nice meeting you, Joe.
Action between David the Dragon Fam and Sorrel Mizzy proved you don't mess with the Dragon. On a board showing 7, 3, 3, 8, 2 clubs, Sorrel shoves holding ace-jack. The Dragon tanks, then calls, holding 8-6 offsuit. River comes a deuce. Dragon's pair of 8s holds up, eliminating Sorrel in 10th place. Then, in a twist of fate, it was Sean Jezzieri's turn to wake up to pocket aces against the Dragon's pocket kings. No help from the board sent a disappointed David Pham home in 8th place while giving Sean a mountain of chips. With 7 players left, only Beau Rivage champ Alan Carter remained to hold up the honor of the WPT Champions Club. Things looked good for the former Biloxi champ as he got involved in a 3-way all-in, holding queens against David Sands' 7s and Dan Kelly's 10s. The flop came 8-7-5, giving David a set. The turn and river were no help. David tripled up. Alan won the side pot, but was still left with fewer chips than when he started the hand. The final hand of the day would also be the last generational match of the day, as Alan Carter was all in pre-flop against ones to watch David Doc Sands. And Alan, looking for a miracle that never came, exited the tournament in 7th place.
Good game, man.
Setting up a final table representing the impressive young pros of poker. With ones to watch, David Doc Sands, online phenom, 22-year-old Dan Kelly, 3-time WPT final tableist Noah Schwartz, and the 2 Jasons sitting on short stacks. WSOP bracelet winner Jason Somerville, Season 8 Bellagio final tableist Jason Bird. But they all have to get past the senior member and chip leader of the table, 53-year-old amateur Sean Jezzieri, who in the past 5 days had proven he could compete with the game's very best.
Once again, the LAPC has provided us with a solid final table. Joining me for all the action is Poker Hall of Famer Mike Sexton and Hollywood's own Vince Van Patten. Mike, what are your thoughts on this final table?
Well, Marinella, the LA Poker Classic annually boasts the largest regular season prize pool on the WPT. That brings out all the big names in poker, which makes for great final tables, and tonight should be no exception. Certainly some of the greatest players in poker have won this tournament, guys like Gus Hansen, Antonio Esfandiarvi, and Phil Ivey. I look for the 3 guys tonight that should add their name to that illustrious list of champions to be the guys starting out in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th chip position. In 2nd place tonight with 4 million in chips is David Doc Sands. He's had an amazing year. He was selected as one of the ones to watch in Season 10 on the World Poker Tour. Tonight, he could be the one to watch. Starting out in 3rd chip position with 3.8 million chips is Noah Schwartz. Noah's made the money 8 times on the World Poker Tour. This is his 3rd WPT final table, and I look for that experience to bode well for Noah tonight. Starting out in 4th chip position with 2.5 million in chips is a tough, young, highly respected pro, Daniel Kelly, just 22 years old, and I have no doubt that his peers will not be surprised at all if he takes down his first WPT title tonight. Marinella, the only way I'll be surprised is if one of those 3 guys don't win here tonight.
Vince, where does that leave the rest of the field?
Marinella, whoever wins this tournament tonight gains respect in every poker player's eye, believe me. But there is a stunning upset in the making here tonight. There's an unknown player, Sean Jezzieri. He is 53 years old. He's an amateur player. He is our chip leader at this point. His philosophy is he plays confused at the table. Now, is he just soft-talking these guys, or does he really play confused? We will find out.
Vince, do you really think the amateur can take down all these young pros?
Mike, this is as wide open as a Kardashian on a Saturday night. Yes, they can.
The 10th season of the LA Poker Classic on the WPT has already seen amazing competition, but will only get better from here. $1.3 million to the winner tonight, and their name added to the prestigious WPT Champions Cup. Final preparations are just about complete. Mike and Vince will be back with the call of the game as WPT's coverage of the LA Poker Classic continues right after this.
Being a Club WPT VIP is like having a backstage pass to the WPT because you get to interact with me and Matt.
That's right. You also get to play for your share of more than $100,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs every month.
ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Commerce Casino for the WPT's coverage of the final table of the LA Poker Classic. We started 5 days ago. We are down to our final 6 players. With me, as always, is former tennis great and poker bad beat expert, Vince Van Patten.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, we're in my hometown of Los Angeles. We're at the largest poker casino in the world, the Commerce Casino. This will be a good one.
Well, it sure will be. We got 5 young guys in their 20s. Up against a former director of Microsoft, 53-year-old chip leader, Sean Jazzieri. You see the winner tonight taking home over $1.3 million.
All right, and he's going to start at 10,000. Blinds are 30 and 60. To the felt we go, Dan Kelly. They call him DJ K. Kelly.
22-year-old young, tough pro.
Cards are weird.
All his peers really respect this guy.
He quickly folds. Jason Somerville also going out. And now it is on Noah Schwartz. I like to call him McLovin from that movie Superbad.
I wouldn't know, Vince. I didn't see it. Action over to Doc Sands. Doc, a one to watch here in the WPT. Not this hand as he folds.
And now the chip leader, Sean Jazzieri, 53 years old, amateur player, is going to raise with a queen 10. It's right behind him, Jason Burt with ace king.
I'm all in.
Jason Burt in the big blind going all in on deal number 1 with Big Slick. He's got ace king, and he quickly takes down the pot. So
Sean mucking there.
Let's go to first 10.
Ace king picking that up nicely.
It's a thing of beauty for Jason Burt as he takes down pot number 1 by moving all in. He started the final table here in 6th chip position.
Nice hand.
With that pot, he's moved into 5th place.
But you would just wonder, Sean, just make him sweat a little bit. You also come for a little sweat in poker, don't you, Mike?
Oh, no, not me. When you got ace king like that, I like the all-in bet by Jason. Take it down and move on to the next hand.
Okay. Back to the play. Jason Somerville with a pair of 8s.
I'm all in.
And there he goes. He's going all in with this.
Oh, he's the short stack at the table, just moving all in with the 2 snowmen.
But right behind him, McLovin there, Noah Schwartz with a pair of 3s.
Well, you don't mind making a big bet with a small pair, but you don't want to call an all-in bet with one. Noah goes out.
Yeah, he does. Doc Sands also flying away.
I call.
But he's going to get the action from the chip leader, Jazzieri.
Always trying to get better. Took 3 WPT boot camps. So Jason Somerville has a World Series of Poker bracelet to his credit. He's trying to add a WPT title to his resume. He's got the 2 8s. He's up against ace queen.
This is Jason's 19th WPT event, his first final table. And the flop is nice there for Jason.
Yep, it's come 7-4-4. The 2 8s out in front.
Very comfortable as Sean, and look at him smiling. Looks a little like the Joker from Batman. Let's go to the turn.
It's a deuce. Well, a deuce comes off, so we are down to the river. Jason Somerville just has to dodge an ace or a queen to double up here. Can he do it?
Will the 8s be lucky? Here we go to the river.
It's a queen! Oh, the queen on the river. Heartbreak for the 24-year-old poker pro, Jason Somerville. And Vince, what a dagger that is. On the river to get beat by an ace or a queen.
And that is brutal, Jason, a gentleman.
Man, River's been brutal in this tournament.
Going to take home $202,000 here from the Commerce Casino. And right now, he's going over to talk to Matt Savage.
Well, Jason, that was quick. You came in here with a short stack. Was that your plan kind of today to get it in early?
Well, I got dealt 2 8s with like my stacking hand, I think, with shove, and he asked to call, of course, with ace queen, and it just came out bad. You know, can't do anything, just lost the flip.
Well, you didn't have much of experience here at your first final table, but I'm sure you'll be back for more. Jason Somerville, a great player, and obviously, I'm sure we'll see you again.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that.
All right, Marianella, back to you.
Jason Somerville was short. It was a good push, but unfortunately the 8s didn't hold and he lost that flip. Jason Somerville out in 6th place, and that leaves 5 players in the hunt for this title. Now let's get back to the action with Mike and Vince.
And there you see Sean Jazzieri's chip lead has increased over $5 million now.
Back to the action, a quick fold by Doc Sands. And now the chip leader, Sean, also going out.
Over to Jason Burt.
I'm all in.
On the short stack, moving all in with ace queen here. Well, we've dealt 3 hands at this final table, and 3 times somebody's going all in.
DJ K going out, and Noah Schwartz now has picked up king queen, and he's interested.
Well, Noah's in the big blind, but it's going to cost him over $900,000 more to make this call.
And he has made the call, Mike. Jason Burt, the local from Sherman Oaks, California.
Noah gambling over there, called him with king, queen. He's up against ace, queen, dominated.
That's dominating.
And McLovin not loving this, and he's not going to love that flop because 8-3 deuce. No help there for Noah.
Man, he's going to have to catch a king to win this pot.
Jason Burt just like to hold on with this one. Here's the turn card. It's also a good one for Jason Burt. It's a 4.
What impressing me about Jason, this only a 6th WPT event, yet it's his 2nd final table. That is good stuff.
Noah needs to hit a king right now. It is not. It's a 10 of clubs on the river. So Jason Burt put the punishment to Noah Schwartz.
And just like that, Jason Burt doubles up for Noah Schwartz.
There's more to come, including some fun with the Royal Flush Girls. And Tony Dunst will analyze the play of our chip leader, Sean Jazzieri, in the Raw Deal.
Brought to you by ClubWPT.com, so stick around.
I was last on a WPT final table 2009, the Festa al Lago at Bellagio, and I finished in 5th.
8 of spades comes on the river, so that's going to do it.
We've got 18 people left. Of the 18, there are 5 WPT final tablers. You've got WPT champs, Alan Carter and Joe Haslam.
Right.
You've got Noah Schwartz.
Right.
Skip Wilson. And you have, who's the 5th one?
You got David Pham, David the Dragon Pham.
Stealthy Dragon.
Always surprised that I'm there. I'm always around. Always in my favor to have less information out there about me. Maybe less people respect my game, but at the same time, it might work in my favor.
Well, a lot of people don't know him because this is only his 6th WPT event, but his 2nd WPT final table. That is impressive stuff.
Yes, but right now they have a good battle going on. But, Mike, I have to bring up something. This tournament had players like Phil Hellmuth, Daniel Negreanu, Phil Ivey. They were in here, but there were also amateur players that were very fortunate to get in here. We had a paramedic, Casey Hidla, and a mechanical designer, Steven Simmons.
You know, all the top pros plunked down $10,000 each to enter this tournament, but Casey and Steven won their entries into the LAPC by playing on ClubWPT.com.
Those 2 club members had the experience of a lifetime playing.
It's terrific value for $19.95 a month. But all the poker you want, get VIP benefits as well. And who knows, you may end up at a final table going for a WPT title. It can be done. It's happening. Sign up. Join ClubWPT.com now.
ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker. Guaranteed.
All right, now getting back to the final table, here it comes. Tonight's $5.2 million prize pool includes a first place worth over $1.3 million.
That's an amount any player would love to win. And it looks like Noah Schwartz is ready to take his shot as he raises it to $135,000.
Like he should with ace-jack. Now Doc Sands looking down at ace-4. Ejects that hand. And there's the chip leader, Sean.
Okay. Now he's got the queen-7 here, but he is going to play.
This is a guy that says he likes to play confused poker so far tonight. I don't agree.
Well, the flop comes 7-7-5. He has flopped 3 7s. He checks it, hoping Noah will make that continuation bet again, but he doesn't.
Now McLovin smartly slowing down with a check.
Now a 3 comes off.
3 on diamonds.
Sean going to look back down at his hand.
150.
Now, that's something that older players do that younger players don't do, Vince. They look back at their hand in the middle of the pot because they want to make sure what suits they've got or what they've got, actually.
Well, there you see Noah going to make the call here. No card he can catch to win the pot. Whatever he puts out there is just going over to Sean's stack.
Okay, a 5 pairs the board again. So Sean with 7s full.
I check.
Oh, going to lay another trap down.
It's a weak check, in my opinion. It allows Noah just to check down an ace high here, and that's what he's done. Sean turns up 7s full and is going to win this pot. I'd believe he got paid off. Had he put his opponent on an ace like I think he should have, the way that hand was played.
Noah could have had a chance of bluffing at it, too, with nothing, so...
Noah Schwartz used to be a baseball pitcher. Southpaw. Pitched in high school and college. Injured his arm and turned to poker, Vince. That's how he got into poker. His dream of hitting the major leagues went south. He is now a professional poker player and has been for 9 years.
2 pretty dodgy jobs, if you ask me. But he's going to fold this hand now, Doc Sands. Highly regarded as a poker pro. Goes away as well. Sean not going to play.
Action over on Jason Burt.
Yep, he's in the small blind. He's got king-jack, and he's raised it to 160.
Now Dan Kelly makes the call here. Both Jason and Dan mechanical engineering majors in college. Jason went to California Institute of Technology. Dan Kelly went to Villanova.
Flop comes up with a king. That is nice for Jason Burt. Hitting kings, top pair. And he's going to make the continuation bet with the real hand. Looks like 180,000.
Action on Dan now. He's got no hand and no draw. Oh, Vince, he's going to make what we call a float bet. He's made the call here with no hand and no draw.
Floating down river trouble.
Catches a queen on the turn. This does give him a straight draw.
Yeah, open-ended. And, of course, Burt not going to let up. Makes a solid bet, 370,000. Going to make him pay for it.
Well, these are the two shortest stacks left in the tournament. Fighting it out for this pot.
He's bet about half the size of the pot.
Now he got himself in a bit of trouble because now he has an open-ended. He's thinking Burt could be trying to steal this.
He actually has a hand now. They can win the pot.
Oh. Whoa.
Well, he is going all in here.
He is going to push it.
Well, Dan Kelly fighting for this pot. Moving all in here on the turn. Jason Burt with a tough decision as to what to do now. You just wouldn't think the guy would raise you with a pair of kings and a weaker kicker in this spot. Essentially, all he can beat is a bluff right now. But what a play by Dan Kelly here. To make a float on the flop and now move in on the turn. We talk about young guys playing aggressive. This a perfect example of it. The question is, can he get by Jason Burt? Remember, this is all of Jason's chips. If he plays this pot, it's for his tournament life.
The young local from Sherman Oaks.
I call.
He's going to make the right call.
What a good read by Jason Burt right there. Whatever happens in his pot, pretty incredible. One guy fighting for the pot and the other guy not giving it up.
Well, that is solid poker by the local Jason Burt, but now he's got to sweat out the river.
Well, a great call. In reality, all he can beat with those two kings is a bluff here, and that's exactly the situation. Dan Kelly making a move on the turn. Must catch a straight now to win this pot. Needs a 9 or an ace.
Jason Burt could be the hero of the night.
It's an ace! It's an ace! Wow! Dan Kelly has won this pot and eliminated Jason Burt from this tournament. And Vince, both players now that have been eliminated at this table lost on the river.
That's an absolutely stunning last card. Jason Burt with a great call there for all the money. Gets a suck out on the river with the ace. He's going to take home $252,000 and some indigestion as he goes over to talk to Matt Savage.
Jason, real tough beat there. Can you tell us a little bit about that hand?
Well, I went into tank for quite a while. You know, it is all my chips, but in the end, I thought I made a good call. Unfortunately, deck didn't agree with me.
I'm sure we'll see another final table in the World Poker Tour. Congratulations, Jason.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Back to you, Marianella.
Thanks, Matt. Another player who fell victim to the river. So with Jason Burt out in 5th place, that means the stakes are getting higher and we are getting closer to adding a new name to the WPT Champions Cup. The Los Angeles Poker Classic, brought to you by ClubWPT.com, will continue in just a moment.
He's the river rat the whole tournament, right? You just knew it, huh?
Season 10 of the World Poker Tour is brought to you by ClubWPT.com, where VIP members can win their share of $100,000 in cash and prizes every month. ClubWPT.com. Never lose a dime playing poker, guaranteed.
Commerce Casino is the world's largest poker casino. And if you're a big poker player, this is the place to be.
We've modernized the casino floor. We've added a new bar and VIP poker rooms. And we've just opened up a new Fortune Terrace that added 30 new tables of California section games, blackjack, baccarat, Pai Gow poker, which we're real excited about.
Commerce Casino has this huge, famous, big Buddha belly where you can actually just rub for good luck. So we made sure every morning we do that, just in case we decided to play.
Well, players love coming to the Commerce because it's always the largest regular season prize pool event we have on the tour. This is the 9th straight season that first place has been well over $1 million.
As you can see, Sean Jazzieri, he's only been playing poker for 4 years. The only amateur at the table is the chip leader with $5.3 million. Let's go to the felt. David Sands with a quick fold. Sean, this time with an ace-king, gonna raise, makes it $150 to go. Dan Kelly out.
Now over to Noah Schwartz. He's got 2 9s here.
Oh, yeah.
Call.
And he just calls. Well, most players would re-raise with 2 9s here.
Me and my buddy, the boot camp warriors.
His boot camp warrior buddy, that's what he's calling Sean.
Being a WPT boot camp warrior has sure paid off for Sean. If you want to find out more, log on to WPTbootcamp.com.
Sean been to 3 WPT boot camps, and what a flop for him.
180.
And he bets 180,000.
Yeah, Noah checked.
Well, Noah's going to make the call here, but he is in dire straits.
To the turn we go. Deuce of hearts helps neither player. Noah going to check again. Sean.
400.
Going to bet 400,000. The senior at the table, trying to take control of the Miami guy.
So far, he's handled Noah Schwartz at this final table. Trying to handle him yet again.
Well, it's 400,000, and he is going to get the action from Noah.
Noah Schwartz only has 2 outs to win this pot. Must catch a 9.
6 of hearts on the river. Noah's going to check again.
500.
And more pain and punishment going into McLovin. He is confused. He is disappointed in himself. Can he get away from this hand?
You look like a nice guy. Probably should give you my money.
And once again, Sean is going to give that Jack Nicholson Joker from Batman smile. Look at that. Call me here, Batman. You'll find out what I got.
Man, it's going to be his pre-flop.
That might have cost him more money had he re-raised pre-flop. Right now, I'd be shocked if he makes this call, and he makes this call. Very surprising. You just don't think amateurs are going to fire 3 shells. Bluff on the flop, get called, bluff on the turn, get called, and bluff again on the river.
Oh, that is punishing to Noah Schwartz. No love for Mr. McLovin right there. And our chip leader extends his chip lead.
Well, Vince, he may be an amateur player, but he's not playing like an amateur now. Got a great value bet in there on the river against Noah Schwartz.
And now it's time to find out what Tony Dunst thinks about tonight's action in this edition of The Raw Deal.
Recreational player Sean Jazzieri came into this final table just happy to be here, while Noah Schwartz is sitting at his 3rd WPT final table with experience on his side. So is it surprising that 53-year-old Sean would continually get the best of our 20-something pro? Let's break it down. The first hand between the two belies the inexperience of Jazzieri. He begins by calling with Queen 7 suited in the big blind against the button raise of Noah.
I call.
Most professionals would rather 3-bet or fold something like Queen 7 suited and leave calling for hands that can flop more equity, like Queen 9 through Queen Jack suited. Still, the call is by no means absurd, and it's even better if you make up for it by flopping trip 7s as Sean expectedly checks, leading to Noah checking behind, a play Schwartz makes, hoping it will induce the less experienced Jazzieri to fire with air on future streets. An irrelevant 3 of diamonds on the turn has Noah believing his plan is working when Sean bets 150K.
150.
Noah quickly calls. The river demonstrates Sean's inexperience.
I check.
It's clear he's going for a check raise, but considering how the hand played out, there's no reason to believe that Noah has many hands that he'd bet. Certainly a hand like ace high won't be going for further value, which Sean discovers right when Noah checks behind. Despite making numerous mistakes, Sean is the one stacking chips. Now, it's the second hand between the two where Noah actually slips up. His pre-flop call against Sean is sensible if he believes Sean won't shove against the 3-bet unless he has a roughly better hand.
Ball.
The turn is where things get suspect. Although it's early in the final table, Sean hasn't demonstrated much willingness to make major bluffs.
400.
And there's also not a ton of hands he can be bluffing with beyond King Queen, King Jack, and Queen Jack with a club. Sure, Noah may have some equity with his own flush draw, but he may also have reverse implied odds when he hits it, such as this scenario with Sean holding the King of Clubs. By the river, things are really eyebrow-raising on Noah's side. Sean puts in what appears to be a begging to be called value bet of $500,000.
500.
You look like a nice guy. Probably should give you my money.
And Noah sticks with his read of bluff and calls down, leading to some classic online poker lexicon.
Oh, boy. My life.
I'm not sure what lexicon is, but I agree with him if he said he shouldn't have called there on the river with the 2 9s.
Oh, I think it's a state, Mike, in the Midwest, I believe.
Well, there you see the WPT Player of the Year standings. Will the Thrill. Fiala still out in front. but whoever wins this event will get 1,400 points, meaning they'll be tied for third with James Dempsey and Bobby Obudi.
All right, back to the felt we go.
Sean Jazzieri well out in front right now with nearly 7.5 million.
And a quick fold on this hand by Noah. And now Doc Sands with the button has a queen 6. And he's slowing down, saying, maybe I'd like to play this.
He hadn't played much of anything all day, hadn't had any cards. Certainly doesn't have a hand here, but he is going to play it. As you can see, he's raised it up to 120,000 with the queen 6 offsuit.
Well, he has. And now Sean with an ace-10 surprisingly folds his hand, shocked. And Dan Kelly is going to make the call with ace-3.
Now, Dan Kelly, that's the difference in youth and older people. One takes the conservative route, one takes the aggressive route and plays. And the flop comes ace-jack 10, all hearts.
Sean shaking his head because he would have flopped aces and 10s. Dan Kelly with the check. And look at this, David Sands with the continuation bet.
Dan call. An impressive call here by Dan Kelly.
Yeah.
It's just a weak ace, and no heart in his hand. 5 of diamonds comes off.
DJK first to act. Again, he's going to check. 270,000 by Doc Sands.
This is why young guys are so tough. They just fight for pots, even when they have nothing. What a call here by Dan Kelly. This impressive, folks. Not easy to call with a weak ace here and no heart in your hand, believe me.
Doc would love to hit a heart here. Can he get it? No, he hits a queen, though.
The queen comes off. Neither player going to like that because it be feared that their opponent has a king in their hand where they'd make a straight.
DJK checks. Well, they're both going to check this wisely.
Dan Kelly's going to win this pot with 2 aces. Wow. Pretty impressive, and even he's surprised by it. Well, he stood the heat on the flop and the turn, Vince. You wonder if he could have stood it on the river. But nevertheless, Dan Kelly making 2 good calls there, taking down that pot.
Only 22 years old, from Maryland. His only 3rd WPT event, his first final table on the World Poker Tour. All right, the blinds are going up to 40 and 80,000.
Well, Doc folding quickly. Sean Jazzieri also out.
1.5, 1.4.
And Dan Kelly now saying, how much you got down there?
1.5.
Dan's got king 10.
Calling.
And he's gonna go all in.
And Noah Schwartz got 2 4s.
Call.
Oh, he is gonna make this call.
Well, he is gonna gamble, wants to try to get some of his chips back.
Hazards. Let's gamble.
So Noah Schwartz, tournament life on the line. Can he get lucky here to get back in this thing?
I gotta fade the Kelly, bro. Jesus.
He's got a good attitude. 3rd time on the World Poker Tour, final table. Here comes the flop. But it's a 10 just like that.
It's come 10, 9, 6. Dan Kelly out in front right now with the 2 10s, and Noah Schwartz saying ease.
Yeah, pretty bad news. Pretty bad news, don't you think? Just a little bit. Dan Kelly.
Looking at his watch, saying I could still make happy hour, perhaps.
So bad. That's bad.
Noah Schwartz mumbling to himself.
Well, there's a 7.
Well, 8? 8 diamonds.
That gives him some outs to escape and stay alive. If an 8 comes up, they would both have a 10 high straight.
Calling it?
That play's so bad. Not a waste of a tournament. So sad.
Noah must catch a 4 to win the pot.
Needs a suck out.
It's an 8. Noah Schwartz going to stay alive. Wow. As they're going to split this pot. Both players have made a 10 high straight. So finally,
I faded to Kelly.
Some lady luck shining down on Noah Schwartz at this final table.
DJK even smiles a little bit.
I was close.
Noah Schwartz from Florida, very happy about that.
For the first time tonight, the river has been kind and Noah Schwartz is still alive, and we still have 4 players left. Mike, Vince, another brutal hand that has been decided on the river.
Well, Marinella, it looks like to me that the river card is going to continue to determine the outcome of this tournament. Noah Schwartz staying alive right there as the 8 comes on the river to give him a split pot. Unfortunately for Jason Somerville and Jason Burt, their fate on the river wasn't so good. They got outdrawn to be eliminated from this tournament. But Vince, the big story so far at this final table was the amateur who came in as the chip leader. He's still the chip leader.
Well, he's only been playing 4 years. Sean Jazzieri. He is torturing these young guys. Who is this guy? But I'll tell you something. There is no river in L.A., I don't think. But maybe there is now, because that is the magical card tonight. It's coming up. It's electrifying. This is very good.
Join us next time from the Commerce Casino for more of WPT's Season 10 coverage of the LA Poker Classic. And Until then, for Mike Sexton, Vince Van Patten, Tony Dunst, Matt Savage, the Royal Flush Girls, and the whole WPT team, I'm Marianella Pereira saying thanks for watching and good night.
I don't understand what this is for here.